Women are proving their mettle in every sphere, including in the energy sector, which has traditionally been perceived to be a male-dominated sector. And although the representation of women in the energy sector is growing, it is still very scanty, leaving much to be desired. Another important factor to note is the age profile of women in the energy sector across all levels. While women are globally underrepresented across all categories in the energy sector, be it the executive level, the C-suite level, and the board level, it has been found that women in the 31 to 40 age group as a proportion of the total men and women who have held positions in that age group have many more places compared to those in the 41 to 50 and the 51 to 60 age cohort, according to data sampled by S&P Global Market Intelligence. Hi, I'm Surbhi Sahu. I'm an editorial lead at S&P Global Commodity Insights. And joining me today is Yuliya Zhdanov, who is the Vice President, Sales and Marketing for Coal, Energy, and Carbon at BHP. Welcome to Live, Yuliya.
Thank you, Surbhi. It's excellent to be here.
Great. It's great having you here, Yuliya. And today, Yuliya will be talking about and sharing her insights on the pertinent theme of increasing the representation of women in energy. So tell me, Yuliya, what are the basic and the important obstacles that women in energy face, and how can we remove them?
It's an excellent question, and thank you for asking. And again, thank you for having me as part of this discussion. It's one of those conversations where the number itself, if I look at our global energy, at least publicly listed companies, we're probably sitting there about 20 in best cases and quite below that. So that in itself is a deterrent. So a simple answer would be hire more women. That will in itself remove those roadblocks. That will in itself help. And perhaps to take you on a journey that BHP has taken since 2016, when we announced our aspirational goals and targets to be gender balanced by 2025, we were sitting at around 17% females within the organization that year. Today, we are well over 37%. Our senior leadership representation is 40%. Our executive team is entirely balanced. It's a journey. It's a difficult journey to start when we're staring at it and the gap. But I would say the best way to remove those roadblocks is to hire more women. One of the deterrents I see in industries such as mining and energy is you often sit around the table and perhaps you're the only woman at the table. And that in itself is a deterrent. So that would be my very simple answer. Surbhi?
Right. That is indeed incredible to see that sort of drastic jump in BHP and hoping for many more companies to embrace that. I know you mentioned hiring more women is really important, but what are the other ways in which we can support or inspire more women in energy and to help them to take on more leadership roles?
Yeah, thank you, Surbhi. That's an excellent question. And I face this question often from my mentees and when I have mentoring sessions, how do we inspire more? And I just want to be, my perspective on this is that it isn't the women that we should be changing. It is our processes, it is our systems, it is our culture, it is our environment. So when we as organizations look at our talent management routines, when we look at our promotion systems and routines, when we're looking at our recruitment routines, have we done the work ourselves to make sure that we've mitigated and eliminated those biases that are ingrained in the system, and they're fairly often there. So that would definitely be one. I think the second one is really having a look at gender pay and doing everything that we can to make sure that those gender pay gaps are closed. That's an important factor that promotes sustainability, promotes growth. So those would be some of the answers that I would have in this space, Urvi.
You mentioned biases, Yuliya, earlier on, and given that you've had such a tremendous career so far, can you tell me a little bit about any biases that you've personally faced and how you actually tackled them?
Good question. And thank you for acknowledging my career. It was very kind of you to say earlier, you can't believe I've been in this industry for about 20 years. It is sometimes difficult to imagine that as well. Much easier now than it was 20 years ago. I'll certainly say that. And I'm actually quite hopeful for the generation of women that are joining our industries today. The environment that they're encountering is easier. How have I personally tackled it? I firmly believe in value-based leadership, and my values are what drives me every day. I have 3 of them. One of them is meaningful relationships. The other one is challenging work. And the last one is a passion for learning. So when I'm having a tough day, which I'm sure we all do, I go back to the value set. And that gets me going. Energy industry is a fascinating industry. There are so many complex problems. There are so many opportunities. And we know that diverse teams deliver much better results. And this is a place to be. So that would be one. How I deal with it with my team. I've taken up mentoring quite a lot. I've taken up mentoring. I think it's really nice to be able to, I've benefited from fantastic mentors over my career, both female and male. I've been inspired by many professionals in our industry. So I try to give as much time back in that space as I can. It's one I'm passionate about.
I know you shared some really great points on what one can imbibe to kind of take the career through, tackle these obstacles. But can you share any important message that you want to convey to women out there who are either, embarking on entering the sector or progressing their careers?
Yes, I'm very passionate about the energy sector. To me, this sector is full of intrigue and drama and complexity and such challenging problems. And it's a sector that makes the world go around. This is a place to be. And I think that's really inspiring. That's really inspiring. We're everywhere. You can't be anywhere in the world without encountering some sort of energy problem or some sort of energy opportunity. And this field is fascinating.
It's certainly an exciting space to be in. Related to that, Yuliya, given the focus on energy transition now, do you think that having more women in energy and particularly in leadership roles can hasten the pace of that energy transition journey?
Absolutely. And the reason I say that is over our nearly a decade-long journey, we've collected quite a bit of data. We know that diverse teams are safer, so less injuries. We know that diverse teams deliver better results. We know that diverse teams are more engaged. And when we put all those things together, what will be required on this, no doubt, bumpy road of energy transition, we need all the brains in the room. We need the engagement. We need the performance. We need the challenge. We need the interesting solutions. We need different perspectives. And diversity is such a big, critical part of that. So yes, my answer is absolutely yes.
Right. So focusing on BHP, what are some of the sustainability initiatives that you're excited about in the company?
From a sustainability point of view?
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite a few. So we're, of course, got our medium targets for we're meeting by 2030 and our long-term target to be get to neutrality by 2050. For us, it's really around scope 1 and scope 2. So we're partnering quite a bit to look at diesel displacement in our mining operations, which is really fascinating. That's a new and upcoming technology. We're doing quite a bit on maritime and shipping. We're partnering with our suppliers there and partners there and alternative fuels, which is excellent. We're doing quite a bit on power transitioning as well for our operations, looking at renewable power. Quite a few of our operations already have renewable power, at least partially, and are expected to have it fully. So plenty happening at BHP on this front. And to say that also on scope 3, when we look at our opportunities that we have there and how we partner with our customers globally and our suppliers globally, lots of work underway, particularly in the steelmaking industry, but across the entire value chain.
That's a lot happening then. Thank you so much for your time today, Yuliya, and your valuable insights. Stay tuned in for more discussion around the women in energy topic on Live in the coming days. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.